Hello everybody, this is Jay Buzzsaw79 here with a Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile. I did very few of these last year, and that was the main reason I started the channel, so we are back into it. Today will be my counter fairies, so we'll start right out here. First off is three of the Guiding Ariadne. This is the main card to me for the deck. Basically makes your counter traps free. You don't have to pay life. You don't have to discard. Nothing like that. While it's in your pendulum zone. The card itself came out several sets ago. And I just reprinted it for the structure deck. So, you know. It's a must. I mean, you can't, to me, I think, run a counter trap deck without it now. Next up, I run three of the Bountiful Artemis, because after you activate a counter trap, whether you or your opponent, you get to draw a card. So, good plus for that. I'm running two of the Minerva. Every time a counter trap is activated, this card gains 500. If Sanctuary in the Sky is out, you get to add a counter trap from your grave to your hand if the counter trap's a different name than the one you just activated. So if you activate Solemn Strike and you had Ultimate Providence in your grave, you go fetch Ultimate Providence and add it to your hand. So, which is, you know, that's pretty neat. A lot of people I saw run one of her. I think two's better. I think she's probably the strongest, one of the strongest cards two in here as far as raw attack. You activate, you know, one counter trap. She's already at 22 then, without any kind of additional power-ups. So, I mean, you should be activating a lot of counter traps. So, you know. I run two of the Valkyrie, try to get some searches in. She's also 1800 body. So that's something. So, every time you activate a negate, you can add a light fairy. So, kind of like a weird Stratos in that sense. A couple of one-ups here. The Sage here. Only one. I might knock this to two. I've toyed with it, but I think one is alright. I don't think I'd ever go more than one. Well, maybe two. But that would definitely be it. Basically, every time you counter trap activated, you gain 1,000 life. Excuse me, my throat's a little screwed. If Sanctuary's out, you can destroy a card. There's a lot of stuff that doesn't get destroyed nowadays, so that second half to me is hit or miss. And again, gaining 1,000 is nice, only because if you're activating, like, you know, your Solemn Warning, your Solemn Strikes, or whatever, if you didn't have Ariadne out, I mean, that gets very expensive as far as life points. So, next up, the Sanctuary Arc Parshath. He came out in the starter deck. He was the main boss monster. I only run one. Basically, his big thing is if he deals battle damage, you can add a Parshath card or counter trap from your deck to your hand. You only want to get him with the Parshath card. You don't want to get him. Oh, sorry about that. Any other way, really. So, I did add two Honest also. Some people don't play with Honest. I don't see why not. As a hand trap, it's one of the best that I think you can put in here. Because really, people are going to try to run you over, and I think you have to be ready for that. So, just my opinion. Next up, three Ties of the Brethren for spells now. Ties of the Brethren, you pay 2,000. Select the level 4 lower monster. You can't special summon anything else except basically that, and you get to have two monsters with the same attribute, but different names. So basically you want to draw this and a fairy and then set your board. So yeah, that's kind of the main point there. I have 3 Pot of Duality. I do have 2 Pots of Desire. I have a hard time moving resources in this deck because, yeah, you do have multiples, and it's kind of everybody's argument, but I disagree with that. I think that I don't want to get rid of my stuff. And this deck, while it can operate, I mean, the other cards that cycle back counter traps and things, it's a moot point if you're removing a number of counter traps. I just think that's the whole point of the deck. So that's why I run Duality instead. 3 of the Sanctuary Parshath protects counter traps. Acts as Sanctuary in the Sky. And you can target, it says 3 fairies or counter traps with different names and place them on top of your deck, which is kind of nice. It allows you, kind of once you get your board established, to keep it established. It also provides a 300-point increase across the board for everybody, which is also pretty darn cool. So I mean, this card really brings a lot. It's a continuous spell, so in that way it kind of hurts the deck, because if you want to keep as many counter traps down, and so in that side of things it kind of screws you because it takes away a slot. So as a field spell would have been better. But, you know, that does let you run. I do run just one Sanctuary of the Sky. And my last spell is a Monster Reborn, because it's now legal. At one point for me it was not. So, you know, there's that. Moving on to the traps at this point. 3 Rebirth of Parshath. A spell card monster effect is activated. You basically reveal a counter trap in your hand, pay 1,000. And then shuffle that into the deck. I might cut one of these. I don't know yet. If I cut it, it would be for like a Divine Punishment. I think would be alright. 3 Ultimate Providence. When the spell trap card is activated, you basically have to show the same type from your hand, and then you can negate and destroy it. Again, with you know, got to remember with trying to Arnadme, guiding Arnadme, whatever. You know what I mean. Yeah, I mean, you can just not worry about any of that stuff. 2 Divine Punishments, because the problem with Divine Punishment, it is a dead draw, so in my opinion that's kind of crappy. It's a dead draw. I mean, you want to get the Sanctuary and stuff out, but if you don't, it is indeed just a dead draw, so I run only 2 recalls, because I can't afford Solemn Strikes, and I think this is the next best thing. I used to run, gosh, what card was that now? Sorry, I drawing a blank here. Wrath? Divine Wrath, I think it was called. Yeah, I used to have that. My other counter fairies, which had to pitch a card, so in that case you was in hand advantage. Here they draw a card. I think that's a better payoff, because I don't lose my hand advantage. So, Solemn Judgment and Solemn Warning. Judgment, because freaking, I remember when I first started playing Judgment, when Metal Raiders came out, and I had 2 in my deck at that time, and everybody, oh, it's such a bad card, you pay half your life. And then about 2 years later, everyone's like, oh my god, it's such a good card! And then they banned it. So, you know, whatevs. And then to polish off, I'm running 2 Mirror Force. I'm trying these out. This is another battle trap. Because you never know. And I think I might switch these to Storming Mirror Force. Because these destroy stuff. There's a lot of stuff that doesn't get destroyed. So, you know, Storming Mirror Force returns to the hand. Quaking, I think, is stupid in this deck because it just flips everything face down and you need to rush your opponent in to do damage. So that's why I picked this over that. So we'll have to see. Alright, this is JBuzzsaw79 saying thanks for watching my counter fairy deck profile here. And go ahead, thumbs up, thumbs down, and if you enjoyed this content or any other content I offer, please feel free to subscribe to the channel, and I'd appreciate that. Stay tuned for more Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profiles after this. This is JBuzzsaw79 saying thanks for watching.